All right, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Zens. Listen, I know it's been a while, and it's been exactly a year since we did a Black Friday roundup. Last year, we actually did 2 of them. So I did like kind of like an early bird one, and I did one coming up on Black Friday. So if you're in the market for some new software, plugins, VSTs, then look no further. I got you. Welcome to Team Producer Grind's yearly Black Friday roundup. So this year, we're going to be organizing it a little bit more. We're going to be covering more of the boutique companies, a little bit smaller size companies that you might not have heard of before. Then after that, we're going to tackle all of like the heavy hitter flagship companies. And if money's a little tight right now, if you just want to check the video out just to see what the deals are, I recommend stick it to the outro because we got some freebies just like last year that are going to be completely free to download for Black Friday too. There is a lot to cover in this video. Without further ado, I want to waste no more time. Let's get into it. First company up is oeksound. On Black Friday weekend only, they're going to be having some of their plugins 34% off, and it's going to be Soothe2 and Spiff. So Soothe2, really complex resonance suppressor. You could go in here, clean it up, any sound really. So it could be like drums too and stuff like that. And then you got Spiff. It's actually just a really complex transient processor. So if you're interested in either one of those, check it out. Next up is Abberant DSP. So the way their Black Friday stuff is working is already in effect now. Your discounts here are going to come from the bundles that they offer. So you can get the all plugin bundle and add all of these here and just get it for $50. You could also just mix and match, and depending on how many you mix and match, you get a little bit more savings. So this is going to be recurrent throughout the whole video, but all of this is kind of just a brief version of what you can actually get on the site information wise. So definitely links in the description, read up on it, make sure you get the specifics, especially the percentages and stuff. And if you're looking for personal recommendations from me, when I'm making samples, I use Sketch Cassette 2 a lot, and I use Digitalis. So it's really good for a lot of sound design stuff. Okay, next up is NeuralDSP. Now their Black Friday sale has already started, but it's basically 50% off site-wide on all of their amp models. So now you can think of NeuralDSP, at least plugin wise, as pretty much like all you need amp sims. For sample makers, we usually run one-shots, accents, sometimes parts of the sample through the amp sims, and they actually sound pretty cool. All of these different cabinets have different tones, so you can kind of go around and see which ones have the tone that you're looking for. Personal favorite is definitely the archetype Corey Wong. I just like the tone of this one, and the presets are pretty good in it too. Next up is Klevgrand. They have a few things going on. So they have a plugin called Tomofon, and it actually is going to come with expansions for it. These two are bundled together for Black Friday, and you can get it for a discounted price of about $50. Also, they're going to have new bundles on here. They're going to have some of their best plugins and VSTs grouped into them, heavily discounted. So definitely check out what these plugins are when Black Friday comes around. Things that I personally use that I can recommend you check out is their DAW cassette and their reverb plugin as well. Next up is Baby Audio. For Black Friday, they have their Industry Pro bundle here, and this is going to have everything from Baby Audio, heavily discounted. And if you're not into everything they have, then you can kind of pick and choose because they have all of their individual plugins 50% off anyway. I just recently started messing around with BA1, really liking the sounds out of this. Spaced out, really good reverb for like percussion and other sound design stuff. Super VHS, super goated for like chorus effect, great for like one shots and chords and stuff like that. I use Comeback Kit a lot too, which is a really nice, unique kind of analog delay plugin. Now, I'm kind of excited for the next one up. The next company we talk about is D16 Group. I'm not too hip to like their whole catalog. I know they have like VSTs and stuff like that too, but I really vouch heavily for their effects plugins. So now the Black Friday deal with D16 Group is actually already in effect. You just use the code BLACK23 and you get 50% off of anything in the store. So that includes everything, the bundles and instruments like I was saying earlier. Centaurus 2, really good chorus effect. Repeater, fire delay plugin. And my personal favorite, Decimor 2. This is the go-to for my sound design. Okay, next up is MeldaProduction. I've only used like a handful of them, but there is a lot of effects they offer. And for Black Friday, these are going to be heavily discounted up to 75% starting on the 20th. Now, I'm just scrolling through here, but you can see I was not exaggerating. So if you want to go through, mix and match, or you want to get their bundles, feel free to go check it out. I'm a big fan of their ReverbShaper plugins. Once again, for like sound design. I actually use their tuner as well. And as you can see, some of their plugins are free too. I also just checked out this Saturator MB one, and it's really good too. Okay, hold up. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. It's not a PG vid if we don't talk about PG. Come on, y'all know I had to... PG Weeklies is essentially a membership service that we offer. So you basically get a bunch of new sounds every week. And I know I'll be running out of sounds all the time. Like you only can use so much of them. So once you run out, you kind of need more. So instead of going around trying to shop for more kits, you can actually just sign up for the weeklies and you get fresh sounds. You don't have to worry about the sounds being recycled or old. It's new packs that drop every Friday. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we actually have an annual plan now. So for $27 a month is a little too steep. You can save just a little bit if you go with our annual plan, and that'll just be one payment payment every year. And of course, if you're on the fence about it, there's a free 14-day trial. So you get 2 weeks free. In those first 2 weeks, you actually get a bunch of bonus sounds over 5 gigabytes. So bonus melodies, drums, one-shots. And this is also the type of stuff you get in your weekly drops as well. Beyond that, once you signed up, you actually get a free drum training course as well. Get access to a private Discord community. Don't forget MIDIs. And all of this stuff is always royalty free. And I mean, come on. That kind of speaks for itself. Now we're moving on to the flagship companies. They got Arturia up first, and their software sales already happening for Black Friday. So it's pretty much everything. We got bundles, you got the collections, and they're all 50% off. So if you don't have any of these yet, I highly recommend you check these out. Some of the best effects that I be using on my samples and stuff come from this effects collection. You got the V collection. So this is a lot of their standalone stuff all bundled together. So these are all the instruments like Mellotron. You got pigments, and then Analog Lab. I mean, Analog Lab speaks for itself, man. So if you haven't gotten it yet, best time to get it is now. So next up is Output. Their Black Friday deal is also already in effect with 50% off on everything. And I mean everything. They got the effects too, expansions, and even the arcade annual plan. That's if you want to pay for it yearly. So you can see they got a lot of expansions for the software they actually offer. And then you got the engines and effects. You can already see we got the 2 goats right here. Thermal, Portal. Once again, just like Analog Lab. If you don't have it yet, definitely a great time to cop it. Next up is Native Instruments, and there's a lot of sales going on here. So they're 50% off all of their complete 14 bundles. Everything Native Instruments has released up until this point, all bundled together. So it's pretty much everything you need. And once again, if you're not into the bundles and you want individual things, they're also all 50% off. And if you're actually looking for some gear, they actually have their Maschine products marked off over $200 worth of savings. Definitely look into that, because once you get one of these, you actually get the expansions with them too. So, and my personal favorite from here is 100% Guitar Rig 7. Okay, next up is XLN Audio. Now for Black Friday, 50% off Sitewide. Personal favorites, definitely RC20 and DrumShaper. DrumShaper, more obvious reasons, just sound design. And then I pretty much use RC20 and Sketch Cassette interchangeably because they have very similar effects in that way. And XO is one of the more complex plugins. It'll load all of these sounds up from your library and then randomize it on this field here. You could just create really like unique percussion loops, drum loops, whatever you kind of load into the library here. And the prices are unaffected right now because it actually starts on the 17th. So by the time this is out, the sale should be up on the site. Okay, so next up is iZotope. And for Black Friday, they have huge savings on like pretty much everything on their site. So depending on what you get, you'll get a different percentage off. So on their audio repair software, they have that for 50% off and 25% off on their Ozone 11. This is like all you need, like mastering, and like amongst other companies, they have their bundles too. So this is where you save the biggest, and this goes across everything we just covered. So Elements, Ozone. Now, personal favorites for me here is definitely Ozone 11 because I really like the imager in there, and Nectar 4 is really good for vocals. If you're looking for like more of like a unique one that kind of transforms the vocals, definitely Vocal Sip 2. Next up is Plugin Alliance. Now for Black Friday, they're doing 2 deals. They have their Cyber Bundle, which I'm gonna get to in a sec, and they're also doing a Cyber Season sale, which is basically discounts on their top 50 like best selling plugins that they have on their site. They're all just heavily discounted, so you could go through and just add which ones you want. Now for their Cyber sale, they're actually having a huge discount here, so you can see how much is marked down on this from this bundle list price to what is marked down to here. Next up is IK Multimedia. First up is their Black Friday sale with Amplitude and Tonex. If I were to describe this is like all you need guitar, bass, amp sims. So Max is going to have the guitar and bass, and then Tonex is the one with the amp sims and pedals. And for Black Friday, these are discounted individually. So if you don't want one or the other, you can still get a discount on it, but you'll save the most if you get them together. And this also applies to the Moto drum and bass products that they offer. And then if you want to go all out, you can get everything on their site on their Total Studio 4 bundles. Next up is Cableguys, and they have their ShaperBox 3 bundle for only $89. So they have a new one that'll be included as well, which is ReverbShaper. But ShaperBox be coming in clutch, man. You can do all of the automation and curving and all of that in ShaperBox, and it's really surgical too because you get to really see how it's affecting the audio as well. Next up is ImageLine. They're offering 25% off on selected editions. You can see them here, and if you're just upgrading to another edition, then it'll be 50% off. Next up is Waves. Now, if you remember from last year, they're doing a pretty similar sale for Black Friday. So they always do like an early Black Friday thing where they roll out plugin deals, and these change change every week. So they're already on week 3, same deals, but just different plugins. Once you go and shop for what plugins you want, you actually save more the more you add plugins. So second plugin, 10% off, third plugin, 30% off, etc. Next up is Software Audio. They released their new instrument VST, which is called Trifecta. And then right before that, they had Scorch. And both of these and their entire catalog is going to be 40% off on the 20th. Next up is Plugin Boutique. I mean, this is the go for the deals, man. Now for Black Friday, they have the bundles on here, but just in general, they also just have individual like plugin and software deals. Instead of going to the feature tab, I highly recommend just going to the discount amount. It'll actually organize everything based on how much you're saving. So you can literally see here, 100% off. That just means free. Air Music, free plugins. Right under that, 95% off, basically free. So yeah, these are all really good. Last but not least, for Black Friday, if you want to get into selling kits online, man, if you got some drum kits that you've been designing and you want to release them, Sellfy is a great way to get them onto a store and make it look clean, make it look nice, and you set your prices and then you kind of just shop it. They're going to release the specifics on their Black Friday sale closer to Black Friday. So if you're interested in this, you definitely want to hop on this quick because the offer is only for the first 150 new customers. Just type your email in here and you'll just be notified when the Black Friday deal is in effect. Now for PG Black Friday, we got 85% off of everything, and if you spend $100, you get $50 store credit too. So some recommendations: Duality, of course. If you don't have this drum kit, stop playing. Another one I want to highlight is the Ghost Series one-shot collection, and this is just like all you need sample making, really. This is packed with 8 dedicated kits, so you got a bunch of different types of one-shots, and there's also an accent kit in here too. If you still do like laying down your melodies, you can still use the one-shots and just have the accents as like kind of like a starter. Last one I definitely want to highlight is Helios. This comes with sample making training. It's got me in there, TB, Juco, and we all just break it down 5 samples we made with the kit. We got another accent kit in here, textures, phrases, even more one-shots, starters, and then MIDI as well, percussion loops, and the analog lab bank. Now for all the stuff that I mentioned, these are special deals, but they still apply with the Black Friday sale, so 85% off. Highly recommend you go checking it out. Now that is it for the roundup, but we of course gotta talk about the freebies. We gotta talk about the freebies. So like I said, if money is tight, I got you. So we did talk about Arturia earlier, but they're also offering a new plugin that's called Analog Lab Play. I like to kind of think of this as like a free version of Analog Lab. So if you're still on the fence about getting Analog Lab Pro, this is a great way to kind of feel your way around and see if you like the sounds, if you like the interface, and the other features that they have to offer. So the next free plugin is from Waves, and they did this same exact thing last year. Before Black Friday comes up, you put your email in here, and then once Black Friday actually comes around, they'll send you whatever this new plugin is for free. They're giving away 10,000 licenses. So that's a lot. You just got to kind of be on this early, put your email in, and you get this mystery plugin for free. And the last freebie is a free mastering EQ from iZotope. This is basically just a section of Ozone 11, and you 100% recommend getting all 3 of these. That's it for our roundup this year. Hopefully I help you guys save a little bit of money, and definitely comment below if I missed any deals or something like that, because there was quite a few I missed last year. With that being said, make sure you like the video up, and yeah, I hope to see you on the next one.